We have two panelists. I know you have some questions. Make your questions brief. We are tired of seeing faces. All right.
I have a quick question for my sister Nneka. Thank you for the presentation. Can you speak to the removal of the history from the curriculum in Nigeria and the hope that, and the hope that it has brought by the reintegration of history in the curriculum? Speaking specifically about when you were saying the youth grown up and they didn't know anything about the previous wars, if you could speak to that.
Okay, for instance, my generation did not learn about the Civil War. Even with the reintegration of history, I'm not sure how far they're going to go into teaching this. I'm not even sure what version of what happened they're going to teach. So I think first of all, there's need to find out what happened. And then it's getting too late because people are dying. There's nobody left. Most of the people that witnessed the war. So my generation didn't, and then people like my father who witnessed it didn't talk a lot about it. So for a very long time it was just the government that had the version out, and it was and so all it took for a young person to get incensed was to hear some little bits of some story that an uncle or somebody told, and then somebody comes up and takes that little bit, blows it up, and they get emotional. And so I think it's important that first of all there's a formal version, and that's where what the doctor was saying about narratives and the power of the person that drives it. Is important. I mean, this is not mediation per se, but even for that mediation to take place, it's important for a narrative that enables both, or how many parties. A civil war, it can be 2 parties, it can be 3, it can be, and it depends on where you are and how you want to look at it, but that enables each party to move on. But there has to be a version that is accepted universally. I don't know if that makes sense.
The doctor you're talking about, her name is Rachel.
Rachel, yes, Dr. Rachel.
All right, Abby.
Okay, this is a strange question,
I always
but
watch myself.
the one I really want to understand at the core. Why do men rape in war? So we're talking about war, but what, and also in general, but what is it that they're in war and they have to, do they hate women at that point, or do they hate themselves at that? Do you know what I'm trying to understand it, because it's one of the common threads, and nobody talks about it. They just say these many women were raped. And say, well, what did they get out of it? What is it? Is it like pulling the trigger on a gun? What is it? Does anybody know? I ask this not just because you're not a rapist.
That's a good question. A number of circumstances determine for rape to take place. This one can either be during war times or during other times, but let us specifically talk about the rape taking place during war times. During the genocide in Rwanda, a very big number of women were raped. But reasons were given that the rapists were giving reasons that before, in fact, in Rwanda, according to Mamdani, with the 48 ways of killing that took place in Rwanda's genocide that took place for 100 days, they were indicating that whoever was to be killed, if you were a woman, the prerequisite was to be raped first. In order to be killed for a woman was to be raped first before she was killed. Secondly, everybody had to pay money for a lesser killing. The big amount of money you pay determines the type of killing you are going to suffer. Definitely a bullet was very expensive, that you had to pay a lot of money in order to be killed with a bullet. However, all this meant that if you were a woman, rape was the first in place before you were killed. It was done to tarnish, to demolish the true picture of the Tutsis, as if they were not human beings. With some other quotes, different names given, like cockroaches, their tails, their hoofs, their everything bad. During war, the rapists are sexually hungry, on the other hand. They have been living in the bush for 10 years, 20 years. There are no women in the bush, yet they have to satisfy themselves as human beings. So rape takes place. Thirdly, others move knowing that they are sick, suffering from HIV/AIDS, yet they want to reduce a very big number of community of human beings. So they cannot die alone without doing the rape. That one also takes place, and so many others.
Okay.
I just wanted to add something. Just recently, rape was added as a war crime because, for example, in Liberia, where I just came from, one of the reasons that they were raping was also they were taking bribes, and you're increasing your numbers by having children through rape, and it also brought shame onto the other tribes. So it was also a way of exerting yourself in control and increasing your numbers.
So just one more, a few things. For instance, in Nigeria, we have a terrorist group, Boko Haram, and one of the videos they released, they talked about raping women so that they could have children that would avenge their deaths. Their deaths.
Yes.
So it's also one of their, I don't know, their methods of. And then I read a report somewhere about somebody did a survey and they found that when guerrilla groups operate, it's usually the ones that don't have a strong core, that are not as organized, that rape. I don't know how true it is. It was something I chanced upon when I was trying to find something else. They're suggesting that the guerrilla groups that are more organized don't rape as much, unless it's a core aspect of their agenda. So.
However, to find out on this, you can go Google the invisible children. Invisible children in Africa, you'll find a lot will be put there.
Any more questions? Last one.
I just want to.
I
I just want to express my gratitude to both of you, and not especially both of you, but the picture of Badru about children suffering is something that we know but we forget. So to bring all those children today in our presence, I am so thankful for your cooperation. Thank you.
All right, I just want to thank you again for your patience. It's been a very busy program since morning, I know. And I know most of us arrived yesterday and we are all tired and we need to sleep. So we would want to end today's program, today's conference and panel discussions right now. And just remember that, just as Professor Bangura said, he's the editor-in-chief of our journal, Journal of Living Together. The papers will be peer-reviewed and they will be published in our journal. So you have to incorporate the feedback you got from our experts in the room and try to work on your paper and resubmit so the panel can review them. And tomorrow we will start at 8:30 in the morning for the breakfast, and 9 o'clock we begin with the panel tomorrow. And also remember that on Thursday at 1:15 p.m. there is a tour, a guided tour at the UN. So if you're interested, you just go to our website, the conference page, and to register yourself for that tour. And Nancy is the one organizing it. She's not here now. But where you meet, the location is also on the website on 1st Avenue at the UN. You meet here on Thursday. So with this, I want to thank you again for your patience, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.